Welcome back. My name is Matt, aka Road Today 88. We're getting in the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And finally, I've been at this all night, but had some catch-up work I needed to try to do for my channel. Promises I'm still trying to fulfill. Let your yes be yes, your no be no. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Don't just run out the mouth and be an annoying gong. This is words of wisdom from King Solomon. Well, it goes as far back as King Solomon. Actually, it's been reiterated. Either way, I made promises about the mods, and I've been kind of lagging on that. So I'm trying to fulfill that, and it's probably still going to be a little bit of a work in process, and coincidentally and ironically, in a happy accident, that I actually have my own characters I need to mod up anyways. So, kind of plays in my favor for both myself and for my viewers. I'm going to get into Conquest, Sector 3. That is what this video is going to be for. 2 times I've gotten on here with the intention of dealing with Conquest, only to get distracted by Guild Wars. And then when I was talking about Guild Wars, I got to thinking about the mods that I commented. You know, when depending on who you're putting on your defense, you're gonna want characters that are gonna be modded up in that defense. Anyways, so I definitely felt obligated to push myself tonight. So we're gonna go into Sector 3. I need to double look at it. Something real quick. Feats. We're not gonna get the pirates through here. That's already been confirmed in the previous Conquest video. 20 buff immunity. I'm still trying to make sense of what's causing that, and I need to do a little self-research on that. Still, I've done a number of self-educating on a couple of things tonight, and that just did not end up on my list of things, and I'm ready to get some sleep soon. Anyways, we can go ahead and knock out the rest of this Sector 3. If we, by chance, happen to get that second feat key card, then great. Because, I mean, that's how a lot of Journey Conquest gets knocked out, is by just working the quests, working the journey, working the battles, and you happen to fulfill them by a happy accident, especially when you're first a new boot launching your game. You're knocking out all kinds of journey quests just by simply running the tutorials. And I've been known to knock out quests from simply playing the game. So, do we see anything change here? Nope. I don't know why, but I feel like old Ben. I feel like that has popped up whenever I've had old Ben in the squad. I'm gonna give this a test out. Let's see what happens. Old Ben. I'll set up other formidable characters. Maybe some other Jedis to go along. See what happens. Because I'm putting relic amplified characters up on a Sector 3, they might be a little too strong. Might not give whoever is capable of doing it much of a chance to pull it off. Okay, immunity popped up, but it just said immunity. Did that include buff immunity or some other form of immunity? Because immunity is kind of vague in terms of what's happening in the battle. Buff is usually like polishing up, improving upon, cleaning up. Inflict would be doing damage. against the cleanup of immunity. All I saw was immunity pop up, and I know there are different types of immunity that can pop up in the damage. So, it was worth a test shot, see what happens. After I get some rest, maybe I can do a little research. Some more research on that one. I literally have been awake for nearly 24 hours, so my brain thinking is gradually hitting the point where it needs to get some sleep. I'm also nearing 40 years old, so I mean, I'm a natural night owl, but as I'm aging, I can only take so much. Plus, on top of that, PTSD. That already keeps me tired even when I'm wide awake. Anything pop up? I'll do a double check. I don't know why I feel like old Ben. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It went from 7 to 9. So, I'll go ahead and work up this lineup. Because I don't know exactly who caused that. But, nonetheless, I like the fact that it happened. I'm going to take that Anakin Skywalker out because I feel like with his attack and the kind of mods that gets put on him, he might over-dominate and not give whoever had the do it. And that's kind of the point of taking him off there. Immunity, tenacity, ability block, speed, armor, resistance, protection, and see, I mean, when it says just immunity, I mean, what type of immunity? Because that is very vague in this concept. Inflicting is that we're doing it against them. And buff, built up, so we're doing damage against whatever immunity has been built up for them. Kind of what antibiotics do. Technically, it's poisoning the body. Or flu shots. We're giving ourselves an immunity for something, but in order to get the immunity, we got to make ourselves a little sick from it, so our body can build the antibodies for it. So I'm getting them in increments of 2 at a time. That is a factor to weigh in. I'll go ahead and finish this lineup because that's probably with. Come on. Is this Radish or Akbar? Win with a full squad of Geonosians. Well, that's not going to happen because my Geonosians are just like the pirates. They're weak as hell. Win with Aesop's Venturous, Dark Side Disciple Survivor. Now that should be a no problem. Go away. Well, I don't know. Not all my Geonosians are bad. It just said they needed to win with the Geonosians there. It didn't say they needed to survive. So, in a full squad, I don't have the Alpha Brood. we're kind of having to work at this, which is possibly good, because that means whoever, if it is that old Ben doing the infinite buff immunity, it means they're gonna have to work at it. When you gotta work at it, you're gonna be putting more hits in. And they are kind of making me, well, they were at first. There's another journey quest I was meaning to get to. I meant to actually address that this morning. Or yesterday morning, rather. Given what time it is. I'm not very trusting of this approach, but I'll give it a shot. Why wouldn't all the Geonosians follow Poggle the Lesser? Because I thought he was kind of second in command next to that Hive Queen. Yeah, I mean, once you get the Geonosians up to relic amplifier levels, I mean, they're a pain in the ass to fight. It's like baseball batting a hive nest, and then all of a sudden having the whole hive of hornets come after you for it. Yeah, I didn't see that happening though. I definitely expected that. So, see what I can squeeze in terms of trying to get that last feat. You know, back it down a notch. Go back to the original setup. Jedi. Old Ben. I really almost want to stick with just this. Anakin is too dominating. Where's and they're weakening down. That does not help my cause here. What did that do for us? How much closer are we? 14, so we went from 12 to 14. So someone is getting 2 at a time, which is good. Which means if I can do that again, 16, 18, 20, 3 more times. No, I hit the home button. I hate when I accidentally do that. But I might not be able to get the pirate feat figured out, but I did figure out how to get the inflict buff immunity happening. And my guess are the guys in the squad I'm using. Old Ben, every time I have him in a lineup and he attacked, I always see immunity damages, some kind of inflict of immunity being done on the opposition. So I still feel like the word immunity can be a little bit vague. I would think because I haven't exactly seen it specify buff, but we had a round where immunity popped up and I didn't even gain any of those. That was when I had Anakin on the squad. I took him out, and now I've been seeing it. Tenacity, special damage, physical damage. There's immunity, speed, armor shred, armor resistance. And armor shred is one not for my journey quest. So I'm getting points in that direction too. Dodge, speed, resistance, immunity just popped up again. Does it not need a save buff? Okay, so alright, after this battle, hopefully I'm getting 2 of that inflict buff immunity. If it stays consistent like this, and my character's gonna stay healthy long enough, I just need 2 more. So I'm getting it happening in increments of 2 at a time. There might be more efficient other characters to join in that are more efficient. Old Ben, I do believe, is causing that. Yoda, I want to believe he does too. And that could be where the second source is coming from. It's possible. It is possible Mace Windu is not contributing to that. Neither Commando Skywalker. I'm going to take Commando Skywalker out of the equation and see what happens. As I've said repeatedly in the past, study your characters, learn what they do in a battle, watch what tags pop up in red when they attack your opponents. When the green pops up, it's whatever they're doing for their own team, and same on your team as well. Red is the damage that's being done. And I'm taking a little more hits since I took Luke out. Luke might have, well, and they're doing immunity damage on us now, too. We're not getting any hits in. This cannot be good. Huh. I guess we need to Luke more than I thought. I underestimated him. Wait. Dial it back just a little bit. Yeah. Let's see. I'm not crazy about wasting the currency on these health deals, but in this case, if Luke was a contributing help to that matter, I kind of need him sticking it out, and he was hanging by a thread. Won't tell me we have to come back later. I just need 2 battles if that's the consistency we're keeping. They are, as they're weakening, they are slowing down. And that is expected to happen. Shatterpoint. That sounds like Shatterpoint sounds like a title to a Star Wars book. Or a Star Trek. That name does sound familiar to a subtitle. Oh, crap. Who is farting out? I'll see how this goes. I just hope she's not over dominating. Because I need my guys to have their chance to get that buff immunity in. Something has definitely changed up. I might have to come back later to attempt it. I feel like there is someone on the Inquisitor team that does immunity damage also. I'm trying to think of which one it was. Because I know I've seen immunity, inflicted immunity damage done from some Inquisitorious battles I've done. I just can't. See, I tend to miss the eyeballing, pinpointing who's inflicting what and when. Ah, crap, hold on. Back out real quick. Because I didn't take a look to see what my status on that was. Hoping there was some progress. But I'm afraid that my guys are slowing down so damn much, we're losing that. Losing the odds. I might have to come back tomorrow when they're a little more restored. Luckily I have enough energy tokens to push in. This isn't exactly what I wanted to spin the whole Conquest doing, but it is still a part of the Conquest nonetheless. So we're gonna do a walkthrough on it. Let's do a walkthrough on it. Old Ben looks like he's about to break a hip. Yoda too. But if they're where we're getting the buff immunity from, we kind of need them to hold out. And we might need to provide them with some defense characters, backing them up. In fact, if I was smart, maybe I should have considered putting a Jedi Consular in there. He might have actually been of some help. Immunity, but what type of immunity? It was an inflict. But we've seen immunity pop up and I still didn't get counted for it. Stun, speed, another immunity. That would be nice if it was 2 and 1. Especially since I got 2 guys where it's coming from that are hanging by a thread at this point. Another immunity. What type? Because I still, I hate seeing it just say only immunity, because it feels extremely vague. I know I'm over analytical and an overthinker. That's where I need to have maybe speed and potency put in me. We got it. All right, on to Sector 4. On to Sector 4. No point in trying to Geonosian. I'm not going to get all the all the key cards, data keys, whatever, for this sector, but I've done as much as I can. I've collected all that I can, which is good. I didn't just hold out just because of a couple problems. And even where I felt like I might have been underestimating, I gave it a try anyways. Because you never know. I mean, just because you see where you're at and you can be honest with yourself about it, at the same time, that's the point of testing boundaries, is finding out exactly if you, where you believe you're being honest with yourself about your status position. Do you really know your threshold, your boundaries? Sometimes you gotta test it, because you might just surprise yourself. And I have had a number of those. Y'all have even seen in my past walkthrough videos where I surprise myself sometimes. And hopefully, I'd like to think that you guys have had the same experience yourselves as well. This is a game of testing boundaries and thresholds in many ways. Alright, now I'm going to definitely need to come in with this muscled up squad. Let's take a look first to see what our feats are. I didn't exactly start off doing that just now, and I keep finding myself backtracking. I only have so many energy tokens left. They aren't exactly cheap in comparison to doing dark side or light side or cantina battles. Defeat 20 enemies with droids. Okay, my droids are not strong enough for that, so that's not happening. Win 5 battles with Inquisitor berries surviving. That might be possible. Gain potency up 20 times. I like that they suggested Inquisitorius, because that was kind of the squad I was initially thinking of using when I came in here. So, and if she's Inquisitorius Berry Sophie, then she's definitely going to follow whoever the leader is. Well, for a second there, I thought they gave her glasses. Those tattooing on her face threw me off. Bereith left the Jedi Order to join the dark side and became a total nerd. I'm just kidding. This rogue Jedi would know a thing or two about that. Hey. I've served on one side of a cell door, and I've had the cell door closed on myself as well for DUI. I've been on both sides. I got that perspective, so maybe I am a rogue Jedi. Not saying that it's a good thing or recommending it for anyone, but some of us stubborn hardheads kind of need that life shock put into us. Just because you stand your ground on what's right or wrong, are you always right or wrong? That does become a question to question yourself about. And my reason was self-medicating due to PTSD popping off in my head from my service work, so you gotta learn how to evolve and adapt. A lot of times medicine's not the answer. It's what we do therapeutically, like what I'm doing here. This is therapy for me. I keep jumping ahead of myself. This is 24 hours, almost 24 hours of no sleep. PTSD mentality. The brain's got a breaker switch has already been broken and is always fighting that all day long, just naturally. You had a lack of sleep at nearing 40 years of age. Yeah, of course I'm tired. Not fully thinking. Gain potency up to 20 times. Well, we got 6 on that, so that's actually good. And we gotta get better SOP through 4 more times. We got 6, just not 1. 6 times 5 is 30. We might be able to knock out both those feats simultaneously if we follow the same trend. Of course, I'm running autoplay. That potency is kind of a variable. It's like playing once again, it's like running a slot machine or lottery ticket. But it is a bit of a gamble when you're doing it on autoplay. But 6 was pretty good. And I think I know which characters did that. If I'm not mistaken, I think 5th Brother. I'd have to look closer. But I almost want to say, because of past battle experiences, I want to say 5th Brother. And look at the mods. Look at, if you figure out what mods are working or what type of fighting characters they are, attackers probably are already going to have a little bit of a potency in them. You put a potency mod on an attacker, they're definitely going to dominate the field. A tank, they can take a hit, and if they're fighting back, that's pretty potent right there in itself. So, probably not going to get potency out of a support. I'm not ruling out that it's not possible, especially if you modded them to do it, but you'd have to get that mod chemistry right. I have put together a couple mod videos, and I have it in a separate playlist as well on my channel. If you're curious about mods, and because I do need to work on modding my characters more and looking at closer specific look at each of the characters, that will probably have to be another video. So we got a second win with Baris surviving, and we got 6 more. So yeah, let's do this 3 more times. 6, 12, 18, 24. So actually, really, if we stay in that increment, we just need 4 battles to get that potency, but we still need Baris to make it through all 3 more battles. So, I mean, that potency is just naturally happening on its own. That's not something I have to put a hyper focus on. But if you're looking for potency in the Conquest, Inquisitorius team, you're racking them up with that. Yeah, let's see who's causing that potency. I can eyeball it right, so I'm pretty tired. Physical damage. Of course, as long as I have a lag, that makes it a little bit easier. An internet lag always makes it easy for a tired eye to see. Purge, blind, jeez. Wiping out their eyesight. Armor, resistance, speed, physical damage, special damage. What was that? Something disruption. Yeah, that 5th Brother, he is doing quite a bit of damage. Hans from Fast and Furious, he is kicking butt here. Those who follow the cast member of Obi-Wan Kenobi, you know who I'm talking about. You know, there are some good backstories. In fact, Star Wars Journal Luke Skywalker um, has, I think, a backstory of him doing some skiff racing, or I think it was a skiff. That model that Obi-Wan gives him as a kid, he actually has a real, him and Biggs have a real one that they race through the Dune Sea. There's a Needle's Eye rock that is dangerous to fly through. Luke and Biggs are among a couple that are capable of doing it. There's a backstory of old Ben kind of watching him do the racing. That could be a second season. Because there's really no backstories of Leia ever meeting old Ben. I mean, it was a good. I enjoyed it, but I've never come across a backstory where Leia ever got to meet old Ben. She mostly, the only thing she really knew about him was because of her adopted father. And that's coming from the George Lucas era of Star Wars books, my generation. The over 30 years, the longer time spans that Lucas owned Star Wars before Disney ever has. Longer than Disney has so far. This whole legend canon thing, I know the old Lucas era books they do have legend written on them. But for many of us, we don't necessarily always look at it that way. When you talk about legend, Robin Hood is a legend. And not everything about Robin Hood is even well known. I mean, it's basically a bunch of hodgepodge of different stories put together and kind of created one man that could have been done by multiple different people. Legends and myths, they're like so far in the historical time frame where even historians can't even keep up with following. It can get a little muddy as to what really happened. Canon, I guess, is bringing up front what is happening. But for many of us George Lucas era Star Wars fans, that legend is what was happening. I'm just throwing that out there. This should be the round that gives us our potency. And then we need one more with Inquisitorius Baris getting our 5th battle after this. This internet lag is not helping my time recording. But I also only have so many energy tokens to run on this. So there's gain potency up 20 times. Oh wait, that wasn't inflict potency, that was gaining. Okay, so one of my characters was actually bringing it in. Making us dominating to ourselves. Making whatever we do going to be dominant. So someone was a team player. If that's the case, I might have been Seventh Sister. I was reading that wrong. Tired eyes, tired mind. Gaining is for ourselves, inflicting is going against the enemy. I know that's self-explanatory, but seeing as my 24-hour wake at nearly 40 years old, already mind wrestling mentality, kind of overlooked that. For anyone who might have overlooked it too, hit the brakes. I caught it. Seventh Sister might have been where we were getting that potency from. Possibly even Inquisitor Baris. She might have been another source to it. If you consider what Baris was known as Jedi Apprentice Baris or whatever, she kind of had elements of it. That's probably what split the difference between her and Ahsoka. Again, Anakin, he had that offense, but he did it dominantly. And Ahsoka learned his offense, but learned it with restraint. which is not something you would have taught her. She probably got that from old Ben, or from Obi-Wan and Yoda. Probably even Padme. Padme was definitely all about restraints. You know, restraining herself, you know, fighting for a good cause, but knowing how to go about it. And see, I had to go after Odaka and Mother Talzin there. The ghosts, the Night Sister zombie and the Night Sister spirit, they also regenerate. In fact, the Night Sister zombie usually ends up having to be the last one you have to kill. Not only does it respawn, but it taunts at the same time, which draws your attention away from, say, Odaka or Mother Talzin when you know you need those two killed off first. It just regenerates itself. Whereas Mother Talzin and Odaka is regenerating everybody else. And there's our Baris. So that is 2 key cards or data keys we got here. 2 feats that I knew for certain we could complete. I need to build my droids up more. We're in the 4th sector. I do not see myself getting that 3rd one. So I'm going to have to be accepting of that and brutally honest with myself there. And does it have to be the last? We didn't even see him. We're not even at the mid-boss fight. So, I'm going to go ahead and call it quits on this video here. We can actually collect on rewards, which I did not do before I left. Out of that, go back in, collect on the rewards. Yay! And go ahead and finish the rest of my dailies. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comments, questions, suggestions down below. This was for Conquest 3 and 4, finishing off 3 and starting up 4. I hope this was helpful. May the force be with you. Thank you for following.